82 right after this word.
Set had a bad toe and didn't practice it but one day before this game.
Well, certainly his running dominated the first half, and the rushing of the Dallas Cowboys allowed them to dominate not only the play on the field but also the scoreboard.
All right, Merlin, let's take a look at the official first half statistics and point out what catches your eye.
The thing that you look at most quickly there, the rushing yardage, 114 yards to 21 yards. That in and of itself is enough to give you domination of the first half. The passing yardage also very one-sided for the Dallas Cowboys, as would be then the total yardage. The turnovers, 3 turnovers for the Browns, only 1 for the Dallas Cowboys. And a 3-2 advantage in possession time also for the Cowboys.
The Browns trailing 17-0 will get the ball first as Septien kicks it off. And Dwight Walker at the 4. Bad start. Now he breaks it out to the 25, the 30. And the last man, Everson Walls, saves a touchdown. So that does happen too. You fumble and that draws everyone in. And once you break through that first front wall, you might go a long distance. And Walker turned a mistake into a good kickoff return.
Some of the most exciting kick returns that I've ever seen have come off plays exactly like this. All of the defenders end up in the same place. And if you can break that initial wall, as you said, Dick, you have a chance. Dennis Thurman, number 32, one man that missed him. Septien didn't get a chance there, but Everson Walls using his great speed to pull down Walker.
The veteran Brian Sipe is at quarterback. First down at the 38. Mike Pruitt for about 4 straight ahead. Pruitt, an All-American at Purdue, and following in that great tradition of Cleveland Brown running backs, Jim Brown and Leroy Kelly and Greg Pruitt and now Mike, all 1,000-yard rushers. Brian Sipe with White, Charles White, and Mike Pruitt behind him. The receivers Logan and Feature on the outside with a tight end Ozzie Newsome. Doug Deacon back in there along with Jackson, DeLeon, DeLamelure, and Rising front wall. Second down 4 at the 42. Barnes on a blitz. Incomplete. Barnes was coming, and so was Mike Hegman, and Hegman got there first. Someone had to pick up Barnes, and that left Hegman free as they loaded up 2 men coming from that defensive right side.
First down pass for the Browns. And they don't like to keep their backs in the secondary. In this particular case, they did keep Pruitt in. Simply could not handle all the people coming, and Sipe paid the price for that. And although Brian Sipe is back in the game, Paul McDonald is down along the sideline warming up.
There's the left-hander from Southern California, McDonald, the second-string quarterback for Cleveland. It's 3rd and 6. Good protection this time for Sipe. And he can't find Logan at the Cowboy 44. Good coverage from Everson Walls. So Cleveland's first attempt. No first down, and Steve Cox will punt it away to Dallas. If you have not been with Thanksgiving football coverage earlier today in Pontiac Silverdome, the New York Giants defeated the Detroit Lions 13-6. No offensive touchdowns. The winning score, a 97-yard interception return by the sensational linebacker of the Giants, Lawrence Taylor. Cox with a perfect spiral. Fellows at his 9. And he's down at the 14, maybe the 15-yard line as Kevin Turner, number 59 linebacker for Cleveland, made the tackle on the special teams. Good kick by Cox, 42 yards. Danny White, the quarterback, brings in the Dallas offense. And when you think Dallas offense, you think Tony Dorsett. Dorsett with a big first half, 79 yards. Ron Springs with over 30 yards, had more rushing than the entire Cleveland team. Hill and Pearson on the outside. Doug Cosby, a touchdown catch in the first half. Pat Donovan, Richards, Rafferty, Peterson, and Cooper on the line for Dallas. Pearson to the left with Hill slotted left. Winged left is Springs, and now it's Dorsett who wings out the other way. Big hole, and he's to the 22-yard line before Ambrose can bring him down. On first down, the Cowboys get 7. Harris, Bradley, and Robinson Relatively young front three with Banks, Cousineau, Ambrose, and Cowher. Cowher for the injured Matthews, Clay Matthews, has a broken ankle. Johnson and Dixon at the corners. Burrell and Scott are the safeties. 17-0 Dallas. The comfort of that sizable lead as we start the second half, their first possession. On the blitz, and they pick it up well, the Cowboys, and going long for Hill. He's got it at the 30-yard line. And whistle dead. Hill, just in case, will take it in. Hill between two Cleveland Browns, showing his athletic, leaping talent.
It looked like there was going to be a chance for the defenders to jump up and bat that ball away. And for Dixon, looked like he was gathering position. You'll see him, number 29. He was the man initially responsible for Hill. But the other cornerback, Lawrence Johnson, also in on the play. Let's look at it from behind Danny White. Now watch it as the ball is thrown. You'll see that the two defenders are closing quickly on Hill. It looks like they're in position to knock the ball away. They end up knocking each other down, and they're very lucky that Lawrence Johnson ended up on the heels of Hill, or he would have gone off for a touchdown.
47 yards and a first down at the Cleveland 30, and White swings it out to Dorsett. And he is to the 20-yard line, and what appears to be close to another first down. Ambrose made the tackle.
One of the obvious advantages that the Dallas Cowboys appear to have in this game is that they seem to have maintained their discipline and their conditioning better than the Cleveland Browns. I think perhaps in a way that's the kind of system they have, Dick. Tom Landry and his staff, very, very disciplined. Most of these Dallas players stayed close by. Most worked out regularly, lifting weights, working together, and it didn't take them long to get back into the pattern of the season.
Landry's Cowboys with a first down at the 20-yard line. Dallas with a relatively easy schedule the rest of the way, and the Browns have a murderous lineup of games to follow this one. Leading 17-0, first down at the Cleveland 20. Dorsett. And he is to the 13, 7 more yards, and there again the value of the wide receivers for the Cowboys. They block, and Tony Hill freed Dorsett for extra yardage.
Excellent block by number 80, Tony Hill. Just waiting out there. It was almost the kind of play you see in basketball. Now Hill has gone down. Dorsett, he's a blocker. Now watch him just wait, and he nails him coming from the inside. That's the kind of pick you run in the NBA, isn't it, Dick?
Indeed, and of course he gave the look of going down, so he drew the attention of the cornerback, and then wheels and picks off the linebacker. Second down, 3. Dorsett 14 yards from 100. He wings out to the right. Springs, first down to the 9. Henry Bradley from behind finally threw his 260 pounds on him and had help from Mike Robinson. Not that it's tough enough today on Thanksgiving for the Cleveland Browns. Well, the Cowboys have the freer trip, although Washington unbeaten at Houston, New Orleans, Philadelphia, Minnesota, and that's no mark against those teams. But when you compare that schedule against the Cleveland schedule, which we'll show after the next play, there is a sizable difference.
A marked difference.
Second, check that, first and goal now. Dallas at the 8-yard line. 11 minutes left in the third quarter. They go with 2 tight ends. Too much time. That'll cost the Cowboys 5 on delay of the game. So while they mark off the 5 yards, let's go to the Cleveland Browns schedule as referee Gene Bahr with that signal for taking more than the 30 seconds. For Tigliano's Browns need more than that. It's a very important contest today. There, the remaining schedule for Cleveland. San Diego, hungry for a win themselves. They're 1-2 going into Sunday's play. Then at Cincinnati against the AFC champs. Then at home against the Steelers unbeaten. Then to Houston. And then they have to go. The last game is at Pittsburgh. So the Browns have their job well defined. It's going to be tough. First and goal from the 13. Way over the head of Dorsett, who was well covered by 55 Curtis Weathers.
I think Danny White simply decided that the better move there was to fire it out of bounds. That makeup game, by the way, Coach Ritigliano said he was hoping for Northwestern after looking at the games they had. He said maybe of course, there's an interesting story out of the playoff meetings, or out of the competition meetings, that Art Modell claimed that he got up, went to the restroom. When he came back, they decided who Cleveland was going to play. He said, case of a weak bladder making for a tough schedule.
Whatever correlation might be there, but he'll learn to hold on a little longer next time. Second and goal. Tony Hill out of bounds at the 2-yard line, and the catch is allowed. It'll be third and goal.
An all-out blitz coming from the Cleveland Browns. White able to stand in long enough to get the ball to Tony Hill. Hill will start inside, freeze the defensive back long enough to get the ball in the air, and then maintain his control inside that sideline. Takes it out of bounds. Lawrence Johnson, number 48, the man over there to defend for the Cleveland Browns, but not there in time.
Boy, Merlin, this is a big play. Cleveland, if they can hold the Cowboys, keep the game within 3 touchdowns, but a Dallas touchdown would just about signal an impossible comeback for the Browns. So third and goal at the 2. Very important play for the Browns defense. Fake to Dorsett. Wide open is Springs for the touchdown.
Cowboys actually bring in an extra offensive lineman, move Donovan out to play tight end. They end up with 3 tight ends, and it's really a running situation. And that's what Cleveland was playing. Crossed up in that particular situation as Springs just loops to the outside and takes the easy pass. Watch it quickly here. Cosby, 84, at the slot, and Springs sliding outside all by himself, picks up the easy touchdown.
Clarence Scott, number 22, played cornerback and strong safety his first year at free safety, and he went for the run. Septien adds the extra point, and within 10 minutes and 26 seconds left in the third quarter, it's the Dallas Cowboys who are enjoying this Thanksgiving Day by 24. Budweiser, for all you do, this Bud's for you. And by Black & Decker's Workmate. When you've got a tough job to handle, it's like having an extra pair of hands. So Dallas scores on its first possession in the second half to build its lead to 24-0. Walker and Hall deep. Septien sidewinder to Hall at the 5. 15-20. Trying to squirt free, but can't at the 24-yard line. So Cleveland begins again deep in its own end, and Brian Sipe will come in as the quarterback for the Browns. 85 yards in 8 plays. The key was the 47-yard pass deep down the middle to Tony Hill from Danny White. 3.5 minutes for the score. Ron Springs with a capper on the 2-yard pass. Beecher and Logan both to the left. Tight end Newsom split right. Pruitt and Charles White behind Sipe. Draw play. Pruitt has some running room. 30, 40, and a first down. And Pruitt, with all that size, can still run a 4.4. So you get him in the open, and he can rumble almost. Went the distance on that one. Michael Downs able to make the saving tackle.
A very lonely Paul McDonald, number 16, on the sideline, and interesting decision from Ritigliano to keep Sipe in the game. Sipe obviously needs some big plays to get him going here.
Intercepted for a moment by Walls and then dropped, and Walls again. He always seems to be in the right spot. A great nose for the ball. Reminds me of Jamal Wilkes, the former UCLA All-American who plays with the LA Lakers. No matter where that ball is, Wilkes seems to almost know in advance, and so it is with this young Walls who played at Grambling. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
This is KYW TV3 in Philadelphia.
Dick Kenberg, Merlin Olsen, Irving, Texas. Texas Stadium, Dallas Cowboys 10-3-1 on Thanksgiving. Trying to add another victory, have a commanding 24-0 lead early in the third quarter. 2nd and 10 play for Brian Sipe for the Cleveland Browns. And he can't get away from John Smirik. Great name for a defensive lineman, Smirik, and he just did.
He certainly did. A stun on the left side of that line. Had Too Tall Jones coming inside. Smirik breaking outside behind him. Sipe forced to run with that football. Could not get away from Smirik, who showed excellent speed on that play, Dick.
He actually outran Sipe. He just couldn't pull away from him. 11-yard loss to the 29. Dallas defense now has gone over 6 quarters without allowing a touchdown. 3 field goals last week as they beat Tampa Bay. Flag down and some early movement in that line. The game after Thanksgiving, the Cowboys have not lost the last 12 years after Thanksgiving, and they're 13-1 total in the previous 14. Danny White, 12 for 18 passing, 1 yard short of 200, stays on the ground to Dorsett. All the way to the 38-yard line, a gain of 9. That'll put him close to 100. Tony Dorsett.
Dorsett dominating play here in this game. That particular play as well as in earlier plays. And proving again the wisdom of Tom Landry's building an offense around him. This is play from earlier in the game. Dorsett breaking outside. You see the speed outside, the acceleration, driving up toward the goal line there. That's the kind of plays he's made all day long.
2nd down and 1. To Springs, 45-50. He has a first down at the Cleveland 46-yard line before Hanford Dixon can make the tackle. 17 yards for Ron Springs.
Dorsett also able to be used as a decoy. He can make room for Ron Springs. Let's continue with some of those earlier plays from the game as you get a feeling for the dominance of the running game of the Dallas Cowboys. And Tony Dorsett here through the early going. So one of the big plays off the left side of that line. Dorsett really putting on a show here, and again reminding you that he came into this game with an injury to his toe, not expected to be able to play effectively in this game.
Danny White with all kinds of time. It's off the fingertips of Billy Joe DuPree down at the 32-yard line. Now, Merlin, the thing about Dorsett, when he first came into the National Football League, everyone accepted the fact he had just blazing speed and great acceleration and moves, but he looked as if that he might not be able to take the pounding. And as he has stayed in the league now in his 6th year, he's added muscle and weight. He now carries 192 pounds, and when you see him in the dressing room without those pads on, he is just it looks like a piece of sculpture.
He also has accepted the discipline and the team role that Tom Landry cut out for him, and he's done that most effectively.
2nd and 10 from the 46. Dorsett. Oh, what a move. And he's to the 35-yard line, a first down, and he's over 100 yards today.
That's a dip that we often saw O.J. Simpson make. Watch it at the end of this, or toward the end of this run, chance to get a little bit of vintage move here. He starts to the right, cuts back to the inside, driving aggressively. Right there. Whoa. There it was. Just a beautiful little shuffle step almost. And he just broke for the extra yardage. Like I said, that's something that O.J. Simpson used to do beautifully.
And when he gets 100, the Cowboys invariably are winners. Ron Springs with a tough battle to get to the 33-yard line and a gain of 2. Meanwhile, the crowd, while it makes noise, is the smallest home crowd here in Texas in 8 years. 46,267 the actual attendance. 17,000 no-shows. 17,256. It is the holiday. Some would stay home, but we've been here on Thanksgivings before. Never seen quite so many blue seats, the empties. Smallest crowd since 1974 here at Texas Stadium. White on 2nd and 8. Drew Pearson, first down at the 17-yard line. And with the running of Dorsett and the pinpoint passing of White, it's a frustrated defense for Cleveland.
Drew Pearson showing you that great control on that particular pass and concentration that receivers must have if they're going to approach an all-pro status. Hill taking a vicious shot after he caught that football, still hanging on to the ball without any problem.
Drew Pearson, the all-time receiver for the Cowboys. To the right, Tony Hill, split left. Only Springs behind White on first down. Leading 24-0 midway through the 3rd quarter. Springs just rumbling almost at will to the 10-yard line before Robinson can weight him down with help from Eddie Johnson, number 51.
One of the things you're impressed by as you have a chance to watch that Dallas Cowboy team in their practices and in their weight drills is the physical strength. I think that as a team, they are probably the most physically strong team in the NFL.
And what was that Landry said to you as he observed his team after the 8-week layoff?
He said, I can hardly tell the difference in what they're able to do in this practice. The only thing would be a little bit of endurance. But he said as far as being able to handle everything, they can do it.
Here's a man who certainly can, Dorsett, who has 5 more yards. It's 1st and goal for the Cowboys at the 5-yard line.
Dick, I would think that there are other units, the offensive line in Pittsburgh, for example, that could challenge the offensive line here for physical strength. But I don't think there's another team in the league that pays as much detailed attention to a strength program as they do here in Dallas. And I think part of that because of Bob Ward, their strength coach, who is really almost a missionary for this, the importance of strength, of physical strength to the football player.
There's a sign in the Dallas locker room that reads, "The quality that man's life is in direct proportion to his commitment to excellence." And certainly is reflective of the attitude of this entire organization. It starts at the top. Dorsett gets away from 2 men and scores! Like a Tony Dorsett highlight film.
Difficult. We've shown you a little highlight package of what Dorsett had done thus far in the game. Well, he added substantially to that on that particular drive and saved the best for last, much to the chagrin of that man, Sam Rutigliano.
Septien out of Carano's hold. Adds the extra point. 9 plays, 71 yards, and the Cowboys really moved the ball at will on that drive.
It appeared that there might have been a chance for Cleveland to stop Dorsett. Watch it yourselves as he drives to the outside behind number 70, Howard Richards. 49, Burrell, the first man to miss him. Dorsett just waves another defender aside and plunges into the end zone.
So with 3:32 left in the 3rd quarter, Dallas big by 31.
This Bud's for that first day on the job. This Bud's for you, for all you do. The king of business coming through. Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. For all you do. This Bud's for you.
The Mercedes-Benz dynasty of 3-liter automobiles, world champion race cars, classic sports cars, elegant personal cars. Now, Mercedes-Benz gives you 3-liter performance in this car, the 300D turbo diesel sedan. 3 liters of power so far beyond the ordinary that it outperforms every other diesel in America, if not the world. The 300D turbo diesel. The dynasty lives on.
The greatest names in the history of figure skating. The dazzling Olympic and world champion John Curry, Olympic great Linda Fratiani, the graceful Dorothy Hamill, and the marvelous Janet Lynn. A special encore performance on NBC Sports World, Saturday.
Tom Landry not too far from his 199th win, and number 3 all-time, and just a game or 2 ahead of Don Shula in their active rivalry. Dino Hall at the 6-yard line. And the shortest man on the field takes it out to the 23, and we have a flag down on the return.
Probably against the Browns, unfortunately. It is. It's going to be an illegal block. So move them back even deeper. It would appear that we're going to get Paul McDonald, number 16, into the game.
That's John Makovic in the blue jacket. He was the former head coach at Wake Forest and one of the offensive assistants of Landry. And another mark of a secure man, Landry, is the fact he has no less than 5 assistants who have been a head coach, 2 of them in the NFL, Dick Nolan and Neil Armstrong.
One of the...
Number 23, illegal block in the back. First down.
Obviously, one of the important assets that Landry has is a very strong staff. And we could turn this quickly into a Dallas Cowboy commercial, but they have proved over the years that they have the most consistent winning organization around.
From the 13, then, McDonald, the new quarterback, Mike Pruitt. Despite the score, 31-0, Pruitt certainly giving it second effort and dragging tacklers out to the 20-yard line. Michael Downs, Dennis Thurman, and others. Brian Sipe, a tough day. It's been not a good return for Sipe, who came in with 45% completions and went 11 for 23, averaged less than 8 yards a completion, and had 3 intercepted.
And wrong to blame, of course, all of that on the quarterback, but the quarterback does have to stand up and look at those numbers and accept more than any other player for the failure or the success.
Close to a first down goes Charles White. Don Smirek, who played his college ball at Nevada Reno, made the tackle. 2:30 left in the third quarter. First down for Cleveland. Well, how about that? I think it's nice that the Cowboys recognize a friend.
Father Goodfather himself will be back on Tuesday night to say hello to everyone.
Well, it's Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern Time for Father Murphy, and I know that you've been excited about the scripts and the continuing good support that you get.
We've got some good shows coming for the folks at home, and since there are so many families out there watching us today, I'd like to encourage them to pull up a chair on Tuesday night and enjoy some Father Murphy with us on NBC.
Charles White tackled at the 34. It's another Cleveland first down. This is a time where that Dallas defense will give the short yards, protecting against the quick score as well they can afford, leading 31-0. And Tony Dorsett has been brilliant today. McDonald complete to Ricky Feature at the 43-yard line.
On the sideline, a man who has played a role in the fortunes of both these teams, Calvin Hill. For many years, a great running back for the Cowboys. Ended his career in Cleveland and is now working for the Cleveland organization.
Graduate of Yale University, and Dallas has drafted another man out of Yale, a second-round pick, Jeff Rohr, this year, a linebacker, 232-pound linebacker, hoping he will enjoy somewhat the success that Hill offered when he came here back in the 60s. Nice throw by McDonald, and he finds Charles White, who was his teammate at the University of Southern California in the collegiate days, and that'll be just shy of a first down. McDonald went to the same high school and the same university as Pat Hayden.
Left-handed thrower, certainly has proven effective and anxious to play football. Talking to Coach Hackett, who coached him at SC and is now the quarterback coach for the Browns, he said he wants to get in the football game, but he's a quality young man. He has not made an awful lot of noise.
These are his first passes of this season. Charles White looking for a block, gets to the Dallas 47, and the flag goes down. We may have a face mask. 6-yard gain. Nope, it's the other way. It's holding against Cleveland, so things not breaking well for the Browns.
Perhaps we'll get a chance to see it on the outside here. Check on it for you. As White drives to the outside. It's 43 Pruitt leading him. Fortunately, probably right there. It looked like Pruitt had a hold of Had a hold of him to the backside, somewhere in that stack right there. Holding call, moves the ball back. The 1st and 15.
43 offense holding, still first down.
You can see Pruitt had his right arm draped over Barnes. Number 31 dragged him down on the hold. So back to the 41-yard line on a 10-yard penalty.
Timeout.
1st and 15.
There must have been a couple of extra. Well, look, too many Cowboys on the field. How many they got out there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 of them. I don't think that's fair, Dick.
Rutigliano might suggest that they tried with 10 to even things up.
Ernie Stotner, the man on the right side, one of the all-time great defensive linemen, played for the Pittsburgh Steelers, the defensive coordinator of these Dallas Cowboys, and a man healthily responsible for the success they've enjoyed over these past seasons.
This is our deluxe model. Triple track, 2-storm.
There are certain things you've always wanted, but for some reason you just never got them, like the Black & Decker Workmate.
So I caught this baby on 50-pound test.
It's not like you can't afford it, but somehow you never got around to getting one.
So she did 3 spades, so I did 3 no trumps.
So next time you see a Workmate, instead of just longing for one, why not stop in and get it?
So I doubled.
The Workmate Work Center. It's time you got one.
The last time in television had a $50 rebate, I refused to do it. And now they're trying to persuade me to do another one. Well, perhaps I was a bit hasty. After all, in television is a marvelous system, and $50 is a big rebate. So buy it in television before November 28th and get $50 back from Mattel Electronics. And hurry.
$50 rebate offer ends November 28th.
Fans from Bowling Green State University have the same colors as the Cleveland Browns, and that's a rare sign in the home of the Cowboys. And certainly that's been the case today, nobody beating Dallas, as the Cowboy defense has now held the opposition touchdown scoreless in 9 consecutive quarters. Pruitt on a quick hitter, and the big fullback gets to the Dallas 49-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down and about 6. I'd like to go back to that comment of Tom Landry's, or at least the locker room wall sign. The quality of a man's life is in direct proportion to his commitment to excellence. And he could wear that on his back, couldn't he?
He certainly could, and I've always believed, Dick, that teams tend to mold themselves in the shape of their leaders. And that's true in the way the Dallas Cowboys have emulated the discipline and the integrity and the devotion to excellence of Tom Landry.
And there's the man, number 54, excellence personified. Randy White stayed at home and dragged down Pruitt at the 50 for a yard loss.
We have given Randy White a few pats on the back today, and you'll see why right here. Head-to-head with Robert Jackson, just knocks Jackson backwards and gathers up Pruitt in the backfield. That's the manster at his best.
And that is the end of the 3rd quarter here at Irving, Texas. The score, Dallas 31, Cleveland nothing. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
Have a beautiful Thanksgiving, and remember, there's always something to be thankful for.
Tonight, celebrate Thanksgiving with fame. Then,
You bug off.
as Sam finally met his match, cheers. And Tony joins his dad in the Merchant Marine. Taxes. Then Perillo's ex-wife is jailed.
You can stay in here until you rot.
Hill Street Blues tonight.
Hey, it's the best night of television on television.
Thumbling Up is their solution to our cold room problem.
This is mine. A portable soft heat unit. Clean, comfortable, hot water heat. Soft heat sends warm air up to mix with the cold, using natural air currents to warm the whole room evenly. With soft heat, you don't have to overheat the house to solve a...
We go to the 4th quarter. Dick Enberg with Merlin Olsen. The score, Dallas 31, Cleveland nothing after 3 periods. There are the official statistics, and they reflect exactly why Dallas has dominated the game. Paul McDonald from the 50-yard line, 3rd and 7 to open this final period. Out of the shotgun. A nice pump, and Feature can't get to the ball at the 30. Well covered by Ron Fellows. Feature just couldn't get himself around the Dallas defender.
very interesting play by the Dallas Cowboys. The blitz coming. They actually had Randy White dropping back in coverage on that particular play. Let's look at it quickly. You'll have a chance to see it. White drawing a block and then moving back, allowing the linebackers to clear to the inside, and finally coming forward when the ball was thrown. Thurman and Hunter, the two blitzers, driving to the inside.
4th and 7. Let's see if this is the time for the fake punt from midfield. Fellows at the 13. And he's out to about the 23-yard line. University of Missouri's leading receiver is a senior and converted into a defensive back by the Cowboys, and a fine return man. We'll be right back in Irving, Texas. 37. He's the people's choice here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. yards.
At the other end of that run, fine tackle by Tom Cousineau. Newhouse, one carry last week for a touchdown. Very important play as the Cowboys squeaked one by against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Let's take a quick look at number 50, Tom Cousineau, jumping nicely over the block there and getting downfield, but Newhouse dragging him along. He bounced along there for a little bit, showing you the power of the drive of Robert Newhouse.
First down, and White going for the bomb. Incomplete, and a fine defensive coverage by Hanford Dixon on Tony Hill, as Dixon had to be tempted to turn earlier but did not, and timed his move perfectly, avoided the flag and broke up the play.
One of the things that Tony Hill brings to this game is great speed and acceleration, and Dixon showing some of the same. Some of the fans here feeling that Tony may have been bumped early. You see a little bit of bumping going on, but Dixon has a right to go for that football. He definitely had his eye on it in the last surge of that particular play.
He was the #1 draft pick out of Southern Mississippi last year. 2nd and 10. Now the Cowboys leading 31-0 and going for the bomb. Newhouse. And he's hit hard at the 40-yard line by Scott Nicholas. He's a 12th-round draft pick from Miami of Florida. Dick Ambrose also in on the play, 52. Newhouse now in his 11th year with the Cowboys. He is their player rep. He goes out and Newsome comes in. And Cousineau doing a little work on that right side. He was hit by his own teammate as he made that tackle a couple plays ago.
One of the things that happens when you get behind like this, you tend to get more people hurt. And certainly that's something that the Browns don't need with as tough a schedule as they have.
White with a lot of room to run. 40, 50, and out of bounds at the 45 of Cleveland.
"15 yards on that scramble by Danny White. Showed some good speed. Lawrence Johnson, number 48, defending downfield man-to-man, had his back to Danny White and didn't see until the last minute that it was indeed a scramble. You'll maybe have a chance to see that at the lower end of your screen. Elvis Franks getting the rush to the outside. Danny sees some room inside. Now watch right at the end of the rush here. Oh, there he turned around by the time. Lawrence Johnson, number 48, did turn around finally, but not until White was almost up to him in the open field.
Timmy Newsome with his first carry. And the 231-pounder who played his college ball at Winston-Salem State has sizable yardage before Clarence Scott can bump him out of bounds.
Dick, I think this is the kind of game that for Sam Rutigliano and the Cleveland Browns, you file it. You put it away and forget about it. They've got 10 days to get themselves ready for their next opponent. 10 days to get themselves back up on par, and there's no question that this is the kind of game that can only be set aside because they have not played the kind of football they had hoped to play here, and certainly have evened their schedule out in a very unpleasant way.
Newhouse on a quick hitter, and look at him fight. You'd think the score was tied the way he ripped away from that tackler to the 29-yard line.
Robert Newhouse I tackled him a few times. They're like tackling a bowling ball. Just tremendous strength and energy. Huge thighs. Look at him drive there. He doesn't want to go to the ground. Giving the fans a little extra thrill here.
His thighs are so big that although he has a 31-inch waist, he buys 36-inch pants just to get them around his thighs and then alters the waist.
Gets one big back pocket.
Well, they corralled him that time. They ganged up, did the Browns, with Scott coming up from the secondary to help out Henry Bradley and Chip Banks. Sam Rutigliano, and if any man can lead and rally his troops, Rutigliano with his attitude can. And he did something interesting in the preseason. Before the very first game last summer against the Lions, he took the entire team down, didn't tell them, got them all on the bus, took them to a local theater to see Rocky III. And his pitch was, you know, we've been up, we've been down like Rocky, and now we got to come back after an 11-5 year, and then last year 5-11. And maybe there's a message in all this. So after the film, he got up on stage in the movie house and gave his pep talk to his team. White, intercepted. Lawrence Johnson has his third interception of the year, the only 3 the Browns own. And that time White, unhappy with himself, threw off the wrong foot and the pass died.
White's 6th interception of the year, and early on Denny had some problems with sacks and interceptions, but he's had a fine day today, having an opportunity to put the ball in the end zone many times. Doug Cosby doing downfield, breaking across the middle. The ball probably should have been eaten as Lawrence Johnson got himself in perfect position to take that one away from Doug Cosby.
Canon's AE1 program is impressing a lot of people. For the pro photographer,
it's even more advanced.
And for pro quarterback Joe Theismann, it's even simpler to use. No matter how tough the shot, the program mode automatically sets the camera for the best possible photo.
Well, this Canon is super.
The Canon AE1 program. So advanced, it's simple. Canon, the photographic consultant to the National Football League.
Introducing the anti-shock sticker. Instead of shock, this sticker surprises you pleasantly because at $49.95 base sticker price, Colt hatchback imported only for Dodge and Plymouth is one phenomenal value. With a peppy MCA jet engine, room for 5, front-wheel drive, and high mileage, Colt's the right combination of size, style, and performance. And the anti-shock sticker, only on Colt.
Now, 10.9% annual percentage rate financing on all new 82 imports. See participating Dodge and Plymouth dealers for details.
This 1982 National Football League game is being brought to you by Anheuser-Busch St. Louis, Brewers of Michelob. Some things speak for themselves. By the new Chrysler Corporation, quality engineered to be the best. And by Canon, so advanced, Canon is the world's leader in 35mm photography. Cleveland Browns for the 3rd year with the Browns. And Logan in motion. Trailing 31-0. Pruitt gets only 3. Bob Brunig played at Arizona State. He and Danny White, both ex-Sun Devils, and of course they'll be rooting for their alma mater against Arizona this weekend. If Arizona State wins, you'll see them in the Rose Bowl here on NBC January 1. Michigan is shoring itself a position. There's Danny White, who was also a fine baseball player there. Same team with Craig Swan and Bump Wills. McDonald, beautiful throw to Ricky Feature and a first down at the 37-yard line. That's really threading it through the defense.
Right over the outstretched arms of the defenders, and he put a little zip on that one. Harvey Martin getting a little pressure on him from the outside. 24 first downs for the Cowboys, and it's really been their night. You'll see McDonald getting the pressure. Harvey coming from the left side right there. McDonald able to get that ball off and beautifully on target.
McDonald has a man, and Charles White backpedaling, and the crowd, you can hear their reaction. Everyone saying, hey, I could have caught that one, but they didn't know there were a lot of Cowboys around either. And Charles White feeling badly as he heads back to the huddle. Tom Landry, his thoughts about the new Super Bowl 16-team tournament.
Playoff, because I believe that by putting 16 teams into the playoffs at the end, you're going to have every team in the National Football League playing excellent football by then. And when whoever emerges in the Super Bowl are going to be the best in the NFL.
I agree that the National Football League, if indeed that's how they resolve the two championships of the AFC and NFC, have done a tremendous job in salvaging the year, making it a meaningful Super Bowl championship. Pruitt, he runs right into Harvey Martin, 79, and Ed Jones, 72. Now the two ends pinching in at the 35-yard line. You know, Merlin, we may be on a new record, the longest time not allowing a touchdown in a season by an NFL team. The Cowboys have not allowed a touchdown in wait a minute now, 2 months
I know where you're
6
going,
days.
Edberg. I know where you're going with that one.
2 months and 6 days. They haven't allowed a score since St. Louis scored back in September.
That's a great defense, I want to tell you.
That's touchdowns. They've allowed some points, but not a touchdown since September. Well, a case of the dropsy now. First it was White, and now the sure-fingered Dave Logan.
We could almost use that as an illustration for a film on what not to do when that ball approaches you. Watch Logan look over his right shoulder as the ball arrives. Right here. He'll take his eye off the ball. You see him just turn his head slightly to the right to try and see where the defenders were, and he's thinking of making the big run after the catch. Got to catch the ball first, then worry about the run.
Those peripheral catches are tough to make even by the outstanding receivers. Cox just gets it away. And Fellows, again, no fair catch. 25, 27. You have a feeling watching Fellows, the daring type of return man he is, we're going to see him take one all the way before this season is over. It's that kind of daring, courageous runner that every coach longs for. Timeout, 31-0, Dallas. Although he's handed off a couple, 3 times, he has not thrown an official National Football League pass. Has looked good in the preseason.
Chippewas, those aren't squirrels, are they?
No, come on, they're fighting up there in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. We've got their attention now. He tosses to the rookie, George Peoples, with a flag down. The rookie from Auburn with good yardage out to the 40, but I believe they're going to call that one back.
I think what we saw was an illegal block. Yes, getting the signal from Cowboys. We'll try and spot it for you right on the line of scrimmage. Peoples, a surprising newcomer for the Cowboys. Tom Landry says every time we give him the ball, he makes something happen.
He was an 8th-round pick out of Auburn. Of course, Dallas hoping he's as successful as the other ex-Tigers, George Andrews and Joe Cribbs, James Brooks, who have succeeded in the NFL. And a light rain has begun to fall.
Personal
here in
foul,
Dallas.
illegal crackback, number 30 offense, still first down.
Tim Newsome with a crackback block. That's a major penalty, 15 yards. Back to the 17.
Unfortunately, one of the bigger gains the Browns have made all day.
Oh, that's right. Negatively, that's right. A plus 15 against Dallas. Peoples the only setback behind Hogaboom. Fumbles the snap. Still free. And Dallas has gotten every loose ball today, and they do again. Well, that's been remarkable. It's one of those days where you know if you're Sam Rutigliano that might as well go home and count your fingers and check your wallet, because
well, if Sam Rutigliano and his Browns are not miserable enough already, they are now going to get soaking wet before this game is over. It's been a tough day for them, and I've been on the field with teams who have, in fact, I've been here in Dallas a time or two and been dusted that badly, and the frustration and the anger. It's often harder to play a game like this, Dick, than it is to play one where you're winning. It certainly takes more out of you. I know that.
So on 2nd and long, and another flag down. Hogaboom intercepted by number 50, Tom Cousineau, and he's inside the 20-yard line with his first National Football League interception. Now let's check the flag. It's against Dallas, and of course Cleveland with its best opportunity today. This is the deepest they've been in Dallas territory all afternoon, and it's on a gift with 8 minutes left.
Well, it certainly would please the Browns to at least take that 0 off the board. They'd like to end this game on an upbeat note. I'll tell you this, they're a good football team, Dick. I think they're going to play some excellent football before this year's out, and I think they're going to dump a few of those very heavy contenders that they're going to be running into and hopefully put them up the road a little bit.
McDonald. Plenty of time, and Dan Fulton, number 86 from Nebraska, Omaha, can't come up with it. Well, they've shown they're an outstanding defense in their first 3 games. The Browns allowing only a total of 38 points, but Dallas has scored 31 today. And if Cleveland is outstanding defensively, then how good is Dallas? And the other factor in the shortened season with only 5 games left, 9 games total, every loss is really punishing. There's not any chance, well, we've got plenty of time. Every game is crucial.
Now we'd have to wonder, too, what this might do to the personal battle for position between Sight and McDonald. McDonald's not doing much better than Sight here.
On second down, he has a man, Dino Hall, touchdown.
Little Dino Hall, he's made some big plays today. One of the smallest players in the NFL. And Paul McDonald delivers the football on time. Dino coming out of the backfield here. Circling out, now he'll drive for the corner of the end zone against Bob Brunig, number 53. Downs coming over from his safety position, but neither of them could get there to take that football away from Dino Hall.
Hall from Glassboro State. He's told his friends who claimed he was crazy. He said, I'm not crazy for trying to play in the pros. I thought I really had a chance. And out of Glassboro State, he has his first touchdown receiving. Scored 1 rushing 2 years ago. Well, a little dent in the Dallas total, 31-7 with 8 minutes remaining.
A diamond.
1-7 the score. Now Hall takes his role as a special teams man. He's one of the wide men coming down under the kickoff. 18-yard pass for the score. Looking for the onside kick. Doug Donnelly and Ron Fellows come up to the 15-yard line. Yep, here comes the onside kick. Well, you can't go out there and roll the ball any better than that, as Mike Whitwell, a rookie, number 81, makes the coverage.
Just a perfect onside kick executed. It has to go 10 yards. Now watch this ball right into the corner down there, just barely 10 yards down, and they picked it up right there. Now they almost lost it out of bounds, just barely holding it in. A big play. Steve Wright, number 73 over there, almost had a chance at that ball. McDonald's got it now. Let's see what he can do.
He's going long for Ricky Feature. Intercepted by Everson Walls. 20, 30, 40. And to the 46-yard line, his second today, his third of the year.
Everson Walls went right over the top of Ricky Feature. Walls was 25, 30 yards up the field, and Feature sitting in there, still on the ground, saying, what in the world happened?
Well, the man who led the NFL in interceptions last year has 2 today, Everson Walls.
Now, only Chrysler gives you 3 ways to save. 1, the only 10.9 financing on many new 83 American-built front-wheel drive cars and pickups. Ford and GM don't do that. 2, 10.9 financing on many new 82s.
The Cowboys used the interception to score 17 second-quarter points to lead 17-0 at the half. They have a total of 4 in the game, 2 by Walls, and the ball now at the 45 of Cleveland. Fumble.
Cleveland has the ball.
So Hogaboom having trouble with the exchange from center. He's had 2 fumbled snaps and a pass interception, and not a good day in his short time in the 4th quarter for the young man from Central Michigan. Clarence Scott recovers for the Browns.
And you'd wonder how that can happen. But a young quarterback getting into the game is so eager to get the play underway that very often he will pull out before that ball is properly snapped. And we've seen that twice here by Hogaboom, who's probably who probably doesn't take as many steps, certainly doesn't take as many as Danny White, and has not really had that much time in the ball game.
Now, even facially looks a little like Roger Staubach when you see him under that helmet. From the 45, it's McDonald's turn. The feature at the Dallas 40, tackled immediately by Dennis Thurman. That'll be good for the first down. Feature from Mississippi Valley.
A very strong pass. Chance here to watch Ricky Feature drive his man off. Dennis Thurman right there. And you see that ball zipping right into Feature's chest. Thurman, of course, playing a little bit deep, playing loose, working on the clock. They don't want to give anything deep.
So Feature, whose idol was the former Brown great Paul Warfield, has the first down at the 40. McDonald, flag down. Dino Hall hit him in the shoulder. He looked for the ball, and by the time he found it, it was already on his pads. And we have a little push and shove down there where that flag went down, and Randy White's in the middle of it. So is Don Smerrick.
Joe DeLamiere, number 64, Joe D in there getting a little push and shove going on. And as much stunning, and of course, this is the time of the game, as I mentioned, Dick, where the defensive linemen really have the advantage. They know that Cleveland has to throw the football, and they're just turning it loose.
So Dallas commits the personal foul, and the 15-yard penalty will position Cleveland at the 25.
Perhaps a head slap penalty or a face mask against the Dallas Cowboys. That hit Dino right in the head. Right in the helmet, knocked him down. That looks like a piece out of the football follies.
Personal foul, illegal head slap, 54 defense, first down.
You were right, Merlin. Head slap by Randy White. A device that Deacon Jones, your former teammate, used so effectively before it was ruled illegal. I remember Deacon's cry of woe that hey, they're taking everything away from him. Pruitt, like a runaway bus, is all the way to the 10-yard line. Brunig, Downs, and Dickerson teaming up to stop Pruitt after 15 yards.
Interesting, Dick, that even though the day certainly has not gone at all well for the Cleveland Browns, there's no quitting. And you notice there are only a handful of players on the bench. Their enthusiasm is still there, and Sam Rutigliano and his staff have done a good job. I have good feelings about what lies in store for them. It's going to be a tough year because of their schedule. But I think they're going to play some good football.
First and goal from the 10. McDonald to Dino Hall. No, it's Charles White. Charles White. For 7 yards, it'll be second and goal at the 3, and that stops the clock with 6:03 remaining in the game. Pruitt and White, a big man with power up ahead, and White, who can scamper outside. And what a day that was in 1980 when he was the most valuable player in the Rose Bowl. 247 yards rushing, and literally the 80-yard winning drive was just White after White after White to beat Michigan.
I remember that game vividly.
McDonald. Second and goal from the 3. To the 2. Dino Hall, and he really didn't have time to turn as McDonald was pressured by Mike Hegman. Dave Logan, Charles White back into the lineup on third and goal. Paul and Doug Deacon come out. They were using Deacon as a tight end. Short yardage. Touchdown. So Mike Pruitt gets the second Cleveland score with 5:56 left in the game, and it's 31-13.
Has to put a little optimism into Sam Rutigliano's evening as you watch the power and the acceleration of Pruitt. Runs through an arm tackle there, just squares away and drives into that end zone. He wasn't going to be denied on that one. Rather academic, Dick, but still important for the Browns. They need to get themselves back onto track, and that may help.
Matt Bahr tacks on the extra point. 5 minutes and 56 seconds remaining in the game here in Irving, Texas. 31-14 Dallas.
This Bud's for that first day on the job.
This Bud's for you, for all you do. The king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
This is an arcade game. This is the new Atari Super System. Arcade, Atari Super System. You may like the Super System better. It has some of the best arcade and sports games and plays every Atari cartridge. It even does something no arcade game can.
Telephone! It's Judy!
It lets you freeze the action.
Hello, Judy.
The new 5200 Super System.
Teeing up the football. This onside kick was successful on the last endeavor. Now Dallas crowds 9 men up close to the Cleveland 45-yard line. Only took a minute and a half for Cleveland to score after the fumble recovery, 5 plays. Dennis Thurman, he could go all the way. He's to the 27-yard line and a flag goes down. As Matt Bahr kicked off and then used his legs to bring down Thurman.
A chance for you to see it yourself. Now watch Bahr. He runs everybody to the right. Now he'll kick this ball back to the left-hand side. A smart play, but Dennis Thurman grabs the ball. He's virtually all alone. Dino Hall misses him. And now let's check it downfield. You see Matt coming across right there. Look at him using the legs. His drop kick the legs out from underneath him. That's a soccer move. That's a tackle in soccer, but not in football.
Number 9 of the receiving team, tripping. First down.
And that would have brought a whistle, perhaps in the sport of European football as well. So Bahr at the 18-yard line and might have hurt Bahr as he's attended to. Newsom and Peoples behind quarterback Hogeboom. This is Peoples. And number 91, Henry Bradley, the middle guard, makes the tackle as we pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
This is KYW-TV3 in Philadelphia.
With Merlin Olsen, Dick Enberg, happy Thanksgiving from Irving, Texas, where most of the folks who did arrive, and it was the smallest crowd in 8 years, 46,000, have headed home for the feast after enjoying 3/4 of the Cowboys devouring Cleveland, leading 31-0. Cleveland's 2 touchdowns here in the 4th quarter, and Matt Bahr, and reaching out with that right foot instinctively, may have injured himself. He did injure himself. It's a matter of how serious. Peoples down to the 13-yard line, and when you see a number 22 on the back of a Dallas Cowboy, even though it's been a few years, you think of Bullet Bob Hayes. Let's go back to the play, Matt Bahr.
Actually, it's back to the field goal, Dick. He was bumped on the field goal, and you could tell it that he was hit on the knee. Watch it after the play is over. A bang right there on the leg. Yep, Michael Downs, the one that banged into him, and you see him grabbing his leg as he came up. Of course, he went right out and kicked again, but he may have injured his leg there, Dick.
I was on the extra point. There was no penalty flag dropped on that play. 3rd down, about 5. Peoples. He's close to the 5-yard line, and a first down for the Cowboys. Oh, he was around in the 8th round. There's something about those Auburn running backs. They seem to be running a factory for them in the National Football League.
They load them up with something down there before they turn them loose.
Oh, you can make a pretty good core out of just those that have come out of there in the last 5 years. Andrews, Cribbs, Brooks, and Peoples.
Well, if Peoples comes anywhere near the performance of the others, he will make the Dallas Cowboys very happy.
Crosby and DuPree booked in the line, and Peoples gets a couple straight ahead. Bradley leading the defensive charge. Curtis Weathers also in on the tackle. Don't forget, Saturday here on NBC, 4 o'clock Eastern Time, 1 o'clock in the West. It'll be NBC Sports World Special Edition Encore Championship Figure Skating, involving a list of names that truly is the Hall of Fame of figure skating. Gold medals galore, and it's a beautiful viewing experience. That's 4 o'clock on Saturday Eastern Time. Then on Sunday, a big NBC football doubleheader. Cincinnati, the AFC defending champions, will be hosting the San Diego Chargers, a rematch of the championship game. And then in the LA Raiders will be hosting. San Diego will be hosting Denver. Hogaboom trying to find Cosby. Misfire. Let's go back over that football schedule again. We have 3 early games, 3 late games as part of our doubleheader. The LA Raiders will be at Cincinnati. The Raiders 3-0 out of the gate against the Bengals. We're 2-1. Houston and New England, Baltimore and Buffalo. And then in the late games, 3:30 for NFL 82, 4 o'clock Denver at San Diego. Most of you will see that. Kansas City against the Rams, and the Steelers 3-0 up at Seattle, as the Seahawks still a flush with their upset victory at Denver last Sunday. 3rd and goal. Newsom doesn't get in as Dick Ambrose makes the hit at the 1-yard line.
Tremendous defensive play by Bam Bam Ambrose as he took that powerful running Newsom and stuffed him at the line of scrimmage. 4th down. What do you do, Tom Landry?
Oh, they'll go for it, don't you think? No need for a 3-pointer here with the score 31-14.
And you almost have the feeling that they just as soon not score, Dick. But it's hard to tell that to the guys who are getting a chance to play out there.
Saw Pat Donovan come in at left tackle with a play, replacing the rookie from Notre Dame, Phil Podzerac. Peoples stopped just shy, and the Cleveland Browns with a solid defensive stand. Eddie Johnson, Dick Ambrose, the rookie Mark Kafensis, Keith Baldwin, a lot of young names, new names for the Browns surrounding the ball. That's Baldwin, 99 from Texas A&M, a 2nd-round pick coming on.
One thing we should mention too, Dick, and that is that few coaches could turn over a roster, put 20 new names on a roster, as Coach Sam Rutigliano did, and expect his team to be competitive. The Browns have been competitive, and as I said, we'll play some good football through the year, but they really have made so many changes that it has to hurt them, and it had to hurt them to come back after that layoff, because a lot of those new faces and new names were not totally familiar with the system.
Paul McDonald starting from his own 1-yard line, actually inside the 1. And he's going to go for the bomb to Newsom. No, he's going to go this way. The rookie Dwight Walker all the way out to his 47-yard line. They sent Newsom, the tight end, streaking deep down the middle, and that took 2 Cowboys. And a beautiful throw, McDonald leading Walker down the sidelines.
Let's get in Paul McDonald's back pocket for this play. Little fake inside to Pruitt. McDonald launching this one right over the top. A perfect pitch. Takes it on the inside, and Walker outruns the 2 defenders up the sideline. Picks up big yardage on the play. Thurman coming over to knock him out of bounds.
Director Ted Nathanson, Larry Cirillo, our producer, and a great camera coverage. So that from the 2 angles. McDonald again to Newsom at the 35, and he goes out of bounds at the Dallas 31. A 1st down at 2:01, and so they, with 2, I believe it was 15, they got away 2 long plays and still stop the clock and get another play before the 2-minute warning timeout.
22 yards on this last play. Watch Newsom now. That ball is in the air right now. The ball is already coming down, well ahead of Newsom's cut. Beautiful play, beautiful unspoken coordination between the receiver Newsom and the quarterback Paul McDonald.
So 2:01 left. The score is 31-14. Dallas once leading 31-0. And McDonald trying to salvage some score respect. The blitz. That's a free ball. And you saw Dennis Thurman. He had eyes on a touchdown but couldn't pick it up on a bounce. Mike Pruitt covered for Cleveland. Dallas has it at the 49. Dexter Clinksdale of South Carolina State, number 47, forced the fumble.
Unusual, but Clinkscale, coming from the left-hand side defensively, is blindside on McDonald, the left-handed quarterback, and chops him in half.
And now with timeout, here comes another one of those fantastic finishes.
Sheet of ice as Bart Starr keeps the ball and sneaks into the end zone for the score. Who made the block that sprung him? Right guard Jerry Kramer against massive Jethro Pugh. The Packers win 21-17 and claim the NFL championship.
Clinkscale forcing the fumble, recovered by Dennis Thurman. Overbone has Peoples and Newsom with him, and it's Newsom. Big man to the 43-yard line. Ambrose and Cousineau made the tackle. 1:45 and the clock running. The coordinating producer of NBC's NFL Football is Ted Nathanson. Today's telecast was produced by Larry Cirillo, directed by Ted Nathanson. NFL 82, produced by Ron Kershaw and David Neal, directed by John Filippelli. Technical directors were Bill Toby and Neil Flagg. Associate director John Libretto. Associate producer Glenn Adamo. Associate producer NFL 82, Tom Roy. And we'd like to thank those that helped us here in the broadcast booth. Player identification, Doug Adams and John Nelson. Assisting with statistics and all the numbers, James Davis, Mitchell Lewis Jr., Bruce Jollish, and Joe Costanza with a Thanksgiving whip out to keep everyone in shape. 31-14.
261 yards rushing for the Cowboys. 78 for the Browns. And when you can run the ball that effectively, no question about who controls the line of scrimmage, no question about who controls the game. And I would think that coaches and players looking in from around the league concerned about the strength that the Dallas Cowboys have shown here tonight. And certainly that's a rather unhappy figure of Brian Sipe on the sideline. Not the kind of game that he would like to have played tonight.
Paul McDonald, who has had some better plays, but of course working against a lot of the reserves of the Cowboys. Dallas losing its opener to Pittsburgh 36-28, then beat St. Louis 24-7 before the strike. Came back, did not play well last Sunday, and beating Tampa Bay 14-9. The Buccaneers did everything but win. Up the middle goes George Peoples, and a first down at the 39. And now it's just academic, a matter of if Cleveland doesn't want to use a timeout, letting the clock run. Danny White, the leader, starting quarterback of the Cowboys, a good day and victory. Although, as Merlin pointed out, it was really Tony Dorsett, Ron Springs, and the runners of the Cowboys that did the work, outdistancing Cleveland.
That's interesting. You add in the passing yardage, things are much closer. But, of course, a lot of that yardage has come late and has come in the game when
Father Murphy, that a sportscaster visits the Father Murphy clan. You don't really like that concept.
We have a bucking Bronco scene for you next week. Can we get you out to write a bucking Bronco?
Are you the writer?
No, you are.
I'll just watch. I'll watch. The turnover is even. But Dallas in that second quarter turned a couple of interceptions into quick touchdowns to lead 17-0 at the half. 1:29 left. It was Cleveland's timeout. Newsom hit from behind at the 35-yard line. Curtis Weathers, he's played a fine game. 6'5" linebacker from Mississippi, number 55. He was a 9th-round pick in '79. He was second in his high school days in the decathlon in the Tennessee State Championships.
One of the things that has to be a little bit of a concern to Tom Landry is his center situation. Tom Rafferty, a converted guard, playing very well there. But I see that Landry has put Brian Baldinger in there, letting him play some center position, and in case an injury should happen to Rafferty, who's been very dependable. But that's the kind of thing that could hurt these Cowboys.
Back to Landry and this Dallas Cowboy organization. And the eagerness for franchises to win, sometimes they're not very patient. And Dallas, when you consider Landry's in his 23rd year, you forget that they weren't a winning team the first 5 years. And about the 3rd year, the fans here started to grumble. And Tex Schramm said, what can we do about it? Went to owner Murchison. He said, well, give him a 10-year contract. That'll quiet him. What a wise move that was.
Dick, if you look at the successful franchises, you look at this Dallas franchise, you look at the L.A. Raiders, of course, formerly in Oakland under Al Davis, you look at what Don Shula has done in Miami, you look at what Chuck Noll has done up in Pittsburgh, those are all situations where you have continuity. and you have a continuing plan and strength of management that allows for successful operation. You're not changing directions every 3 or 4 days, and some franchises never seem to hit that level because they're putting new coaches in the ballgame constantly.
Add to that statistic 5 championships, 2 Super Bowls to show you the consistency of quality. Landry and the Cowboys in the last 12 years, they have been in the NFC Championship game 9 of the 12 years. And after watching them today, you wonder whether it won't be 10 out of 13 as Newsom stays in bounds and is to the 6-yard line. So Newsom looked as if he was going to step out of bounds, was able to cut back and maintain possession. 20 seconds left. That may be the last play.
His feet terribly close to going out of bounds, but Newsom showing excellent speed and body control as he tiptoed down the sideline. 11, 10, 9 ticking off.
Landry won't run another play. There's no need to add to the lead. So Tom Landry and the Dallas Cowboys have won on Thanksgiving Day once again. A wave to Rutigliano. A 31-14 victory for Dallas. They're now 3-1. Cleveland is 2-2. Let's go to Len Berman.
Thank you, Dick Enberg. 2 things. Earlier today, the Giants beat Detroit 13-6, and Cowboys president Tex Schramm